glad to see what's happening at Tottenham Hotspur since I've come back. And the first thing we're going to be talking about is the brand new shiny signing, second in terms of our most expensive signing ever in Richarlison from Everton, as Tottenham have confirmed this morning that transfer is happening. It's confirmed, it's signed, sealed, delivered. We don't see him holding up the shirt just yet, but it has been confirmed. He's out in Brazil. He did his medical out in Brazil yesterday, and it's all been confirmed. Don Paratici is doing his best efforts to make Tottenham into a challenger next season. And we're going to go and take a look at kind of what's been said on Twitter. We're going to look at the announcement that Tottenham have made as well. But I, for one, am very happy about this signing. It represents something like Richarlison coming in when we've got a Sonny, when we've got a Kane, when we've got a Kulusevski. For the first time ever since I can remember, Tottenham are signing players from a position of strength instead of a position of weakness. So yeah. I think it's an absolutely brilliant signing, and we're going to delve even deeper into why it's a brilliant signing. But let's go and have a look into the announcements that we've made.
Yeah, so Spurs first of all teased the announcement with a pigeon on top of the cockle, which I thought was absolutely... I don't know how they saw that. Maybe it was just a stroke of luck.
Could be photoshopped as well.
Do you reckon it's photoshopped? I don't know. It's a decent Photoshop if it is. But look at that. Absolutely brilliant
You
stuff.
know what they did? They probably just saw a pigeon on there like ages ago, and they're like, we know this picture will come
just in case.
one day.
Well, actually, I don't know if that is a pigeon even, but I think whatever. I thought
it's
it was
a bird, that's for sure.
Brilliant piece of... what's it called, teasing there from Spurs, and obviously an announcement was imminent once this was posted. I thought I was brilliant, and then the official announcement was actually in a video, which is here. It is official. Here it is, the Richarlison getting announced. Obviously, there is no material of him doing the media duties and doing the interview and everything like that because he is currently out in Brazil. So I think Spurs even sent a doctor to Brazil to do the medical and all that kind of stuff. So that's why they've kind of they've just done the announcement like this. And I'm sure we'll get, when he's back in England, we'll get all the other stuff of him wearing a Spurs shirt and stuff like that. That's fine. Yeah, so there you have it. And then, obviously, there was this picture as well. We are delighted to announce the signing of Richarlison from Everton, subject to a work permit. Welcome, Richarlison 97.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. I mean, you for one, you must feel like pretty vindicated at the moment because like you've been banging on this Richarlison drum for ages. You put up that clip from the tier list yesterday, which we were having a bit of a debate. You were putting him in must sign. I was putting him in solid signing. I think I still stand by what I said in terms of putting him in solid signing, because I still think that he's not of the kind of level of Lautaro Martinez and the Bastonis of this world and that kind of stuff. But having said all that, to bring him in as an option in the squad, someone that can really give good competition for the players that we have there. And when Son's not on the pitch, when Kane's not on the pitch, when Kulusevski on the pitch, Kulusevski aside, when Son and Kane are not on the pitch, yes, the quality does drop with Richarlison on the pitch, but it doesn't drop significantly as it was maybe when a Bergwijn is on the pitch or when a Lucas is on the pitch.
Look, for me, I think people are sleeping on his potential quality. I think that I stood by the fact that I think this guy isn't coming in as backup. He's coming to push our first 11 and even maybe claim a spot there. And I really believe in his quality. I think he's been playing for I've said it so many times, he's playing for a very, very poor Everton side. I think if he was playing for a more functional team, you'd see a better Richarlison. And I think that's exactly what we're going to give to him. As much as we need quality and depth, he needs a team which is more functional. He needs a team with a good class manager, better quality players around him. Last season, people can talk about, he only got 11 goals and, he's outscored by this player and that player, but he was in a relegation battle. He was playing for a team who literally was so poor at times during the season. Like they were in a relegation battle for a reason. And I think for me, you put him in a better team like Spurs and he can go up levels. I think he's got something to prove playing Champions League football. I think that Right, I think if he was playing for a different team, like Inter Milan or something like that, people would have a very different opinion of him. I think it's because he plays for Everton, because he's played in a struggling team and all these kind of things, people have a certain opinion of his quality. I don't subscribe to that. I think this is a very serious quality player who is set to go up levels. And if we didn't, say we didn't have, if we were signing him to be an absolute starter, I would absolutely have confidence that he can get between 15 and 20 goals a season. Obviously, because we have Kane and Son, he's going to have to, it's a serious battle for game time. So whether he'll reach those kind of goals, but we only need him to score. Like everyone's like, if you look at his goal scoring record right now at Everton, if he scores 10, 11 league goals, if he scores 13 league goals like he has done a couple times, that is absolutely perfect for what we need. We don't need someone who's going to score 20 goals because we have two of them already. We don't need a third one who's going to score 20 goals. It will be great if he does, but we only need him to score between 10 and 15 goals, and that's absolutely perfect for what we need to supplement the squad and add depth to the team and add goals to the team. So
if he scores 15 goals in an Everton in the side, surely he can get 20 goals in a Spurs side anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, he played every minute of every game at Everton.
Yeah, of course.
That's the difference. But was better with more quality around him, better players around him, a better manager, and more motivation as well. Remember, he's been battling out for mid-table a lot of the time at Everton, and I'm not saying that he doesn't have motivation, but a lot of the time when it's mid-season, you're not battling for anything. You know, some games can pass you by, but Spurs, hopefully, we're going to be challenging for big things next season, and he'll have that motivation every single game to make every moment count.
And how amazing it is to, like, with the 5 subs as well, to have an option like him to call upon. You know, you can even start him in games when Son is flagging a bit or when Kane is flagging a bit, and then bring on Kane and bring on Son last 15, 20 minutes of games, or vice versa. And it's unbelievable options to have. And I'm going to give you a stat here where it's since Richarlison's Premier League debut for Everton in August 2018, Richarlison is the second top goal-scoring Brazilian around Europe's top 5 leagues.
Really?
First being Neymar, second being Richarlison. Neymar had 50 goals. Richarlison 43 goals. Third is Gabriel Jesus on 38 goals. Then Bobby Firmino on 35 goals and William Jose on 34 goals.
Since when is this, sorry?
Since his Everton debut.
Oh, right. Wow. Nice. So since 2018. Well, that's impressive. Impressive numbers. And I just think he's got super quality. I think he goes under the radar because of who he plays for, and sometimes his shithouse. I also think he's a player that opposition fans love to hate. I think he's a player that if he plays against you, he annoys you and he rubs you the wrong way, or he's diving, he's this, he's that, he's being a bit of a bastard, all these kind of things.
Jose Mourinho would love him in the squad. That's
yeah,
for sure.
But if he's on your team, I think you love him. That's why the Everton fans, every single Everton fan we've spoken to, is absolutely gutted that he's leaving. Is inconsolable that they think we're getting him on cheap, even though a lot of people are saying we're overpaying. Everton fans don't believe that, and I think Spurs fans, with his passion, his endeavour, his work rate, all these kind of things, I think Spurs fans are going to take to him so quickly, and I can't wait to see him in a Spurs shirt. And I think I honestly think he's going to go up levels in a Spurs shirt. I really believe that. I think the level we saw at Everton, we're going to see even more. We've seen it so many times. We saw it with Mane, we saw it with Jota, we've seen it with other players as well. Once they get into a better team, they become a better player. And I think Richarlison is going to go the same way.
And, you know, talking about Jota, I was saying last night, I was having a conversation with a couple of mates about this, and I was saying that Richarlison can be our Jota, and he can have that impact that Jota had at Liverpool going in there. When Jota went into Liverpool, he had to contend with Mane, Salah, Firmino. He was nowhere near going in there as an out-and-out starter every week, and he went in there, he made an impact, and he squeezed his way into that team. More often than not. And I think Richarlison can do that for Spurs. I really believe that. And, you know, when you're going into games and maybe against a low block team with 20 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go, and you're struggling for a goal, you could have an option of playing Richarlison as the number 9, Sonny on the left, Kulusevski. No, sorry. Yeah. You could play 2 up top, right? Maybe with Richarlison and Kane in a 3-5-2. You should play Richarlison and Sonny up top, Kane in just behind, Kulusevski right wing back, Perisic left wing back. What options that is?
Yeah, unbelievable options. And there is the only reservation that I've gathered from Everton and people who've done research on Richarlison is that the main reservation is, do they believe he is like, does he really solve the problem as a lone striker? And that's something he might have to adjust to. Obviously, he did a good job for Everton, but he was very much like a running behind kind of striker, as opposed to someone who, against a low block team, is he going to be able to hold the ball up, take the ball in, and bring other players into play the way Harry Kane does. Those are question marks over Richarlison's a lone striker. I think him in a 2 with either Kane or Son will be very effective, but him as a lone striker, I think he's done a fairly decent job at Everton, but there are question marks there. But maybe that's something that he can develop under Antonio Conte, and I think that's something that he can improve on. So I think it's a phenomenal signing. I think he brings our attack, it brings another level to our attack. It gives another player for teams to think about. I think that he's going to be a fantastic signing for Spurs. I think he's a very good finisher as well. I think on his right foot, left foot, I think he's a very competent finisher. I don't know. I don't see many downsides to this. I really don't. The only downside you could potentially see is he going to ruffle a few feathers in the dressing room? Obviously, him and Romero have a history together.
I don't buy into that.
Is he going to be unhappy if he is benched and stuff like that after playing every game at Everton? Those are question marks that are going to have to be answered, but I think those are things which, if he's coming into a team that wants to challenge for big things, he has to accept all these things, I think. And I think he's professional enough. I think everything in his career so far has told me that he's professional enough to put those kind of things to one side and think of the greater good. I don't think he's a selfish player. All these things people put against him, I don't buy that at all. I think he's a passionate player. He's a team player as well. I think he cares a lot about community and things like that. I think Everton fans have spoken a lot about how he interacts with them, and he's really great with the Everton fans and what he does on social media as well with the Everton fans. I think we've not only have a great player, but we have a great person and a great character as well, and I think that goes under the radar because people talk about his shithousery and his attitude problems. I don't buy that at all. So look, I'm more than excited about this signing and what he could bring. And as I've said before, he signed with expectations of him being the player he has at Everton, but I think there's no doubt in my mind that halfway through the season, or by the end of the season, we're going to think of him as one of the first. We could very well think of him as one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
Well, it's very exciting times at Tottenham, and that is another signing through the door for Tottenham Hotspur.